Hi, welcome back. This is Andrew Sears, and in this next session, I'm going to talk about how to run effective live meetings on Zoom. So just to cover how to have successful Zoom meetings. So first, be sure you read and follow the meeting agenda, the assignment instructions listed in Canvas. If you have suggestions to modify it, let us know at least a week in advance. Usually we do fairly minor modifications. We've had other faculty completely ignore the agenda, and students got upset. So be sure you follow the agenda. The other thing is you need to log into Zoom. If you're the lead faculty, log into Zoom at least 30 minutes before the meeting starts. A lot of our meetings happen in the evening. We won't have staff support often, and the instructions for this are in our faculty Google Doc, faculty manual Google Doc. But you'll have to have a Zoom account. So you need to, download your Zoom software to your computer, and then after you've logged in, and you need to be sure to log in using the faculty credentials, and the detailed login instructions and passwords are in the CityVision faculty manual. So you're going to click on this, and then in the faculty manual, it'll show you the logins and passwords. But we're not going to show that in the video because otherwise it would make it so that other people could access those. So be sure that you log in using the faculty account. And as people go into the room, you're going to need to admit each person into the meeting room. Now, one of the things, so be sure you record meetings to the cloud. And if you're teaching with multiple faculty, which happens most of the time, you're going to identify who's the primary leader for a large group discussion. Usually that's going to be the lead faculty, but it can be helpful to promote other faculty to be co-hosts. So that's what this diagram here in Zoom, you'll have something where you could go to that person's name and you say make co-host. And what that's going to do is that's going to help you with admitting and muting students. Students sometimes get stuck outside of the room, especially if you go into breakout rooms, really soon. So make sure that that doesn't happen, and identify someone to take attendance, because you're going to need to you're going to need to grade based on who attended. And one of the tips is using what's called round robin, so calling on each student in the order they appear on your screen for all required discussions. So the Zoom logins are going to be available on this link. Actually, I think I'll make this a hidden video so that people can have these links. So if you're in management and ministry, you're going to have one of these rooms. So whenever you go into Canvas for the live meeting, it's going to say you're in room 1, and it's going to have a link. So if you're in room 1, you need to log in with Zoom. So you're going to go to sign in. You're going to enter your username of Andrew plus room 1, and then Jesus Justice 1. This is also in the manual. And then you might be in room 2 or 3, and then addiction counseling. So make sure you test that before. This has probably been the biggest problem we've had in the past year is lead faculty who they don't test this early, and then they're at a 7 o'clock meeting. There's no staff to support them. They can't figure out how to log in, so none of the students are able to get into the room. So make sure that you test that in advance. So some of the tips of how to use a Zoom breakout room effectively: be sure to follow the instructions in the live meeting assignment for the agenda on how to structure the breakout rooms. And if there's no breakout room format specified for a course, you can decide whether to have breakout rooms. But the idea is you want everyone to be able to talk. The reason why they're at a live meeting is to be able to talk. So you want at least half to 3/4 of the time where students are talking. So one other thing is only one faculty member can use Zoom's login. So what I showed you here, this should be the lead faculty or whoever's leading that time. If more than one person tries to use this, say you have 3 faculty and they all try to use this login, then that's going to kick out the first person. That's going to be a big problem. So if you're not the lead faculty, if you're not the head person in charge of the meeting, then you need to use your regular login. And remember to record. So, and if you, click record here, you can, the recording, if you're saving it locally, I think most of you are saving it for cloud, it's not going to record the breakout room. If a lot of your meetings happening in breakout rooms and you want to record the breakout rooms, then what you should do is to record locally, and then you'll have to share through Google Drive the recording. But I would recommend you save to cloud, so it'll give you an option to save to cloud. Now, on breakout rooms, there's 3 different options of how you can do breakout rooms. One is to assign a certain number of participants per room, and that's where you would assign them automatically. So you'd say 3 breakout rooms, assign automatically, and then it'll show the number of participants per room. So that would be if you have 3 faculty and you don't really care who's going to do that. And that's good for small group personal sharing where you may not need faculty to be in every room. So say you're in a large course and you just want them to share a little of their background or history, and faculty don't need to be in every room. You could create enough so that there's 3 students in every breakout room to do that. And then the next part is to have 1 room per faculty auto-assigned. So that you might have 3 faculty and you do 3 breakout rooms, and you're trying to break up the students evenly to maximize their sharing time, but you're not really caring about keeping students with the faculty they've been assigned to. So that's another way. And then the third option would be to let students choose the room of their grading faculty. So you create 1 room per faculty, and then you let participants choose room. So what you're going to need to do that is you're going to need to go in the breakout rooms. It's going to show you, the name of the rooms. First, it'll start room 1, 2, and 3. Then you need to rename them to the faculty name so that the students know whose room to join. So that's good if you're trying to build consistent relationships. It's a problem in a lot of cases because we might have 1 faculty member that is grading 15 students and another faculty member that's grading 5. And that's going to be a big problem if you have 15 students in 1 breakout room. And you need to make sure that you select participants, choose the room. So one of the keys to Zoom is to practice. So we have a book that is called Online Teaching with Zoom, and I would strongly encourage you to go through that. That'll teach you a lot of the best practices that you can use, and that's some of the assigned reading for this week. So thanks a lot.